These 10 facts about the Paracas skulls, the elongated skulls of Peru, are they a hint of ancient aliens, extraterrestrials? Are the Paracas skulls a missing link in the origin of mankind? Do they belong to a species that did not originate on Earth, or are they just another example of cranial deformation? Now let's keep in mind the astronomical and geological changes of our Earth. So many extinction level events have taken place. We had a super eruption 27,500 years ago in New Zealand that almost wiped out everything. Anthropologists say only 2,000 human couples were left at that extinction. And we had another ice age extinction where we had the Clovis culture and the woolly mammoths going into extinction. So who knows, were these other beings around at some point? Or were they ancient aliens? The enigmatic Paracas skulls, surely one of the most enigmatic discoveries ever made, discovered deep in the desert peninsula of Paracas, southern coast of Peru. In the barren landscape, Peruvian archaeologist Julio Tello came across a complex and sophisticated graveyard in 1928, and what he found buried there could change everything we know about the history of mankind, anthropology's history. Even though skeptics remain unconfident about the Paracas skulls, many people believe not only could they indicate a missing link in human origins, but they could hint to an entirely new species that did not originate on our Earth. So it's time to science. It's up to science to decide what went on and who is right. Kindly support my Patreon account since YouTube has again demonetized my YouTube channel. The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below. And here are some of the Paracas skulls, as you can see. Tremendous difference in the shape of the skull and huge cranial capacity compared to human skulls. Now, we have 10 interesting facts about the enigmatic Paracas skulls, a set of controversial human remains that would forever change how we look at our ancestor and our origins. It's not only the brain capacity that was enlarged, it's also the whole skull was much bigger than today's human skull. Now, the bodies in the tombs had some of the largest elongated skulls ever discovered on our planet. The Peruvian archaeologists discovered over 300 mysterious skulls, which are believed to be at least around 3,000 years old. There are certain South American tribes that used to bind infant skulls in order to change the shape of their skulls, resulting in a drastically elongated cranial shape that resembled anything but ordinary humans. Keep in mind that Patagonia had the ancient giants there as well. And we have certain drawings from the Europeans that went and, of course, discovered the new continent of America, and drawings of ancient these Patagonian giants that were, most of them were, I would say over 3 or 4 meters tall, 15, 20 feet tall. Now, by applying constant pressure over the skull over a long period of time with the uses of pieces of wood, the ancient tribes would achieve a cranial deformation, which can also be found in ancient cultures from Africa as well. And while this type of cranial deformation changed the shape of the skull, it did not alter the size, weight, or the cranial volume, all of which are characteristic traits of regular human skulls. But the cranium of the Paracas skull is at least 25% larger than the human skull and up to 60% heavier than the skulls of regular human beings. So even the bone was denser. And not only are they different in weight, the Paracas skulls are also structurally different and only have 1 parietal plate, while ordinary humans have 2. So in other words, they didn't have a fusion on the top. Now, 5 samples of the Paracas skull were sent to undergo genetic testing, The samples, which consisted of hair, skin, teeth, and some fragments of cranial bones, gave incredible details that have fueled the mystery surrounding these anomalous skulls. The genetic laboratory to where the samples were sent was not informed of the origin of the skulls in order to avoid influencing results. The mitochondrial DNA, which is inherited from the mother, the mitochondrial DNA from the mother, showed mutations that were unknown to any man, primate, or animal found on planet Earth. The mutations present in the samples of the Paracas skulls suggest that researchers were dealing with a completely new human-like being, a humanoid being, very different from Homo sapiens, Neanderthals, or Denisovans. According to Brian Forster, it had a mitochondrial DNA, mtDNA, with mutations unknown in any human, primate, or animal known so far. A geneticist who participated in the study said, "The individuals from the Paracas skulls were so biologically different that it would have been impossible for humans and them to interbreed. I am not sure it will even fit into the known evolutionary tree," he said. This is from Ancient Code on Humans Are Free. Please leave your comments on this, and thank you for your support. Now, concerning this image, this bothers me because we know that even in humans, the bone stops at the nose, but at that hole where the nose should be, that's where cartilage usually is on humans. So it could be that the artist's rendering of the skull with the skin over it and the eyes is wrong. There should be a nose there, and perhaps it's missing, obviously. Please leave your comments, and thank you for your support.